The night was cold, the kind of cold that seeped past fur, past bone, past spirit, leaving nothing but emptiness inside. Alara stumbled through the trees, her bare feet cut and bloodied from stones and roots. Every step was agony, but not nearly as painful as the memory of what had just happened. She had given her loyalty, her obedience, her very life to the pack she had been born into, only for them to turn on her as though she were nothing more than a parasite. The council had spoken, the Alpha had decreed it. She was no longer of them. Cast out, banished, stripped of her place, her home, her identity. Her wolf whimpered inside her, broken by rejection, shamed into silence. The jeers of her packmates echoed in her head, useless Omega. Weakling. Burden. Each word had cut deeper than claws. Each sneer had branded her heart with scars she could never forget. Alara had always known she was different. Omegas were at the bottom of the hierarchy, expected to serve, to bend, to never raise their eyes too high. And she had done her part, working harder than anyone, offering kindness when cruelty reigned, carrying weight far heavier than her small frame should have been able to bear. But it had never been enough. Not for them, not for anyone. She staggered into a clearing, clutching her arms around her shivering body. The moon hung high, silver light spilling over the forest, illuminating her pain for no one to see. Her breath came in ragged gasps. She wanted to collapse. She wanted to disappear. Maybe death would be kinder than this endless humiliation. But fate was not yet finished with her. A growl rumbled in the distance, deep and resonant, shaking the very air around her. Her wolf stirred weakly, ears twitching. Fear spiked through her veins. This was no ordinary wolf. This was no pack member. This was power incarnate. She turned, heart pounding, and then she saw him. The figure that emerged from the shadows was massive, towering, his presence filling the clearing as if he had been born of the night itself. His wolf form was unlike anything she had ever seen before, black as obsidian, eyes glowing like molten gold, muscles coiled with lethal grace. Every instinct screamed at her to bow, to lower her gaze, to bare her neck in submission. This was no alpha of a local pack. This was something greater. This was him, the Alpha King. Legends had whispered of him for years. A ruler above all alphas, forged in blood and fire, feared across kingdoms for his ruthless strength. Packs bent the knee to him or faced annihilation. He was a myth, a nightmare parents used to warn disobedient pups, and yet he was here, in front of her, staring into her soul as though he already knew every piece of her story. Alara dropped to her knees, trembling. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Surely he would kill her. Why wouldn't he? She was nothing, a rejected Omega, trash abandoned by her own pack. The king padded closer, the ground trembling beneath his steps. His eyes narrowed as he examined her, and then before her eyes, his massive form shimmered, bones cracking, muscles shifting. In seconds, the beast was gone, and in his place stood a man. A man carved from steel and shadows, his chest bare, his body scarred from battles fought and won, his hair dark as night, his gaze piercing. Who dares wander in my territory? His voice was thunder, low and commanding, wrapping around her like chains. Alara bowed her head so low her forehead pressed to the dirt. Forgive me, my king. I do not mean to trespass. I was cast out. I have nowhere else to go. Silence stretched between them, heavy, suffocating. Then, surprisingly, his tone softened, though the authority never faded. Cast out, yes. Her voice cracked. My pack. They said I am worthless. They threw me away. A sharp growl rumbled from his chest, though it wasn't directed at her. His fists clenched at his sides. Fools, he muttered under his breath. He crouched before her, his presence overwhelming, and yet there was something in his eyes, a flicker of something she hadn't seen in anyone's gaze before. Not pity, not disgust, something closer to recognition. You are no weakling, he said, his tone final, as though his word was law and could not be disputed. Stand. She hesitated, fear rooting her in place. No one had ever spoken to her like that before. No one had ever demanded her strength instead of her submission. With trembling legs, she rose, though her eyes remained downcast. His hand lifted her chin, forcing her to meet his gaze. Her breath caught. The heat in his golden eyes made her pulse race, her wolf stirring for the first time since her rejection. The bond between them snapped like lightning, fierce and undeniable. Her soul screamed one truth she could hardly believe. Mate. The Alpha King was her mate. Alara stumbled back, shaking her head. No. This cannot be. He rose to his full height, towering over her. His lips curved in the faintest hint of a smile, though his eyes still burned with command. It is. You are mine. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it would burst. She, an Omega, a cast-out nobody, fated to the most powerful wolf in existence. It was impossible. It was dangerous. It was destiny. The king stepped closer, his voice dropping to a growl that reverberated through her very bones. They may have rejected you, little wolf. But I claim you. From this night forward, you are not weak. You are not worthless. You are my Luna.